Yo, what is going on? PartTimerZack here, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the weapon and mod week that Outriders recently did on Twitter. We're going to be going over some of the different guns and mods that they showcased on Twitter in case you guys missed it. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So the first one we have here is called the MIGRAINE. As you can tell, it looks very weird, very bizarre. As you're seeing right here in this little preview that I have, it's pulsating, which is kind of a gross thing, but at the same time, I think it's the level of, I don't know, gore and complexity and just the way that it kind of looks that actually is really appealing to me. I'm really excited for the different weapons and armor in this game because a lot of stuff looks really appealing, and you'll start to see that as a common theme as we dig deeper into these guns. So let's break down some of the different information on the MIGRAINE. As you can kind of see here, we have a mod section to the left. It has two mods. The one that they showcased was the ultimate bleeding bullets. Shots inflict bleed on enemies, and then this other one is bombs ahead. Killing shots turn enemies into an anomaly bomb, dealing 304 damage and cooldown of 3 seconds. So one thing I did want to do is make a slight correction to the video that I made previously on mods. You can only get level 3 mods from breaking down legendary gear or legendary weapons. In this case, I didn't know that whenever I posted that other video, so I'm just wanting to make a clarification here that weapon or mod 3s anyway are only from legendary breakdown. I will give you guys a little bit of a moment to look over the overall stats and stuff. I'm not going to be breaking down each and every one of these, but you can see that they have stuff like clip size, damage, accuracy, stability, range, all kinds of different things. So if you want to take a look at that, they do have it on the Twitter, or you can just pause the video here. There's a lot of information to kind of unfold, but let's go ahead and dive into the next weapon. So the next one is actually kind of a favorite of mine, and that is the iceberg. It is very simplistic, but the overall aesthetics of it, just, I don't know why I really like it. It's just literally a frozen sniper, but it's just the fact that I don't know, it's just so simple and clean that it's appealing to me, I suppose. Let me know down in the comments if it's too simple for you out of the list here, because some of this stuff gets kind of crazy. But let's go over the mods here. So you have Winter Blast as the tier 3 mod on this weapon. It is critical shots create an icy blast that inflicts freeze on enemies within a 4-meter radius. And then they have Icebreaker, which is killing shots against frozen enemies make them explode, dealing 90 damage. So you can definitely see how these two mods definitely work together here to do a devastating amount of damage to the enemy. And like I said, I will give you a moment here to look over the different stats. As you can see, obviously it is a sniper, so it's a single burst with high damage and accuracy depending on the different mods and stuff that you're having here. They do also have a little video that I'm going to be showing of some of the different gameplay, or at least aesthetics of it, how you can actually use it in game. And I gotta say, it's kind of nuts to see some of the different effects, especially when the radius stuff hits and it freezes everybody within that radius, and then all of a sudden you see them explode with that second shot because of that tier 2 mod that it has equipped on there. I don't know, it seems pretty devastating and something that I would really be interested in. So the next one we're going to be talking about is Amber Vault. This one is a little bit of a weird one. If you look over the overall design, you can tell that it's made out of bone, and they have confirmed that certain parts of it, especially in the back end here, is actually another skull of a person. So that's kind of a weird design, but overall I actually like the aesthetics of these guns, to say the least. They are creepy and weird, but I think that's kind of the appealing aspect to them. But let's go ahead and break down these mods. So we have Killing Spree for the mod tier 3. Killing shots increase damage by 30% for this weapon for 30 seconds. Bonus deteriorates with time and stacks up to 5 kills. So here we see that they have the mod on here, Brain Eater. Critical shots do not consume ammo. You guys don't have to put like what mods they have. This is mainly for a showcase, but if you kind of look to the very right over here, it says crit multiplier 125%. That would be my assumption of why they're using something like Brain Eater, because the critical shots do not consume ammo here. So essentially every time they're able to hit a crit shot, they don't have to consume that ammo and they can just keep firing away. All right guys, so let's break down the Grim Marrow. As you can kind of see, it is following a little bit of a theme here with the bones and overall aesthetics of it. It doesn't look as gory, as messed up as the last couple ones. You can kind of see that it has this little glimmer effect, you know, kind of going back and forth. I kind of like those little additions to the guns. I think it just makes it a little bit more pleasing to look at. Let's break down the mods on this guy. And Singularity is its tier 3 mod here, and its killing shots create an anomaly singularity. When destroyed, the singularity explodes, dealing 913 damage to enemies within a 6.5 meter radius. So we are seeing the radius stuff come back in these different mods and doing those AoE damage. I really like that just because you can do a lot more to a lot more enemies in the little small space there. So the tier 2 mod they decided to use was improved stiffening. Shots inflict slow on enemies, cooldown of 4 seconds. Slow is going to be heavy, especially those AoE stuff. You're going to be able to trap a lot of those guys in that little meteor radius there, and then everything's going to go off at the same time. So definitely a good partnering of those mods there. So you can kind of tell from some of the different stats here, this one will be a little bit more crit damage than what we've seen. It has a crit damage base of 13% plus has a crit multiplier of 129% over here to the far right. So it does seem like this bad boy is going to be a crit machine. And then we do get a little bit of a gameplay here showing what it's going to look like as far as slow and how the overall radius effect's going to kind of work in this aspect. I was happy that they showed the gameplay and stuff just to kind of show you like, oh, this is what it's going to look like. Obviously it's a little weird just because they show different angles that you're not going to see when you actually play. So it's kind of a weird thing, but at the same time, I'm glad they, you know, showed it because then you get an actual idea of what some of those different effects and stuff do. All right, guys. So for the last one, this is VOODOO Matchmaker. It's a legendary assault rifle. You can definitely tell that they're doing a lot of creative things with the different aspects of the gun. This one seems to be on fire constantly and has a bunch of these weird, creepy dolls kind of hanging from it. I love that aesthetic there. I'm not necessarily sure what those little metal things are, those little metal trinkets or whatever, but it kind of does look like there's a mask of some sort on the back end here. I'm not sure if that's from your enemies, but then you have little ropes of bones. I assume those are. At first I thought they were like little logs, but I'm pretty sure they're bones on there. And so it just kind of fits the name very well. They're doing very well with the naming and the overall aesthetic of the guns. So let's go ahead and break down the tier 3 mod for this bad boy, and that's Ultimate Damage Link. This is actually one of the cooler ones, and then you're going to kind of understand that whenever you see the gameplay. So shots link up to 3 enemies, sharing 30% of the weapon damage dealt and 10% of their anomaly damage dealt as well. They did partner this gun with a mod 1 with vulnerability bullets. Shots inflict invulnerability on enemies, cooldown of 8 seconds. I'm not exactly sure what vulnerability does. I'm guessing it's some sort of weakness, or you take more damage and stuff like that. That would be my guess. You can kind of see an overall theme here that the crit multiplier is going to be high in these guns, at least the way that they're built right now. And then this one actually has weapon life leech, which I'm assuming gives you some heal back, and then it has healing received 7% as well. So it's kind of cool that it goes into that VOODOO little aspect of healing yourself while you're actually doing a ton of damage. So I really enjoy that. But let's go ahead and break down to this little gameplay they gave us. Like I said, I'm really enjoying the fact that they gave us these little previews, and we can kind of see the way, especially in this clip here, how it's actually affecting all 3 people and you're only shooting 1 person. I personally think that's a really cool mod. Especially in these type of games where there are just like hundreds of people constantly coming at you, it can be really cool to be able to do so much damage AoE wise, or just doing stuff like this where it's stacked on each enemy. All right, guys, so that was just a little brief breakdown of each one of the guns that they showcase. They have had a lot of requests for armor. A lot of people wanted to see the legendary armor, so I'm wondering if maybe next week or the week after that they're going to be doing a similar thing with armor sets and stuff like that. They did say that these are only like a handful of the guns. There is way more to come and way more to see when the actual game drops. They just wanted to give you a brief showdown of what is to expected to come. I would really like to see some legendary armor. I think that's kind of a cool idea as well. But let me know down in the comments which is your favorite weapon. I'm going to choose the iceberg just because I'm a sniper, but the VOODOO does look really cool, especially with the different mods on it that boost you know, some of the different aspects of it and make it a really devastating machine, especially with that trio little hit marker there where you can hit everybody and do damage continuously. That's such a cool thing. But if you guys are looking for more Outriders content, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be covering all kinds of different stuff, new news, all kinds of different things. And then when it actually drops, we'll be doing guides, we'll be doing gameplays, all kinds of different things on Outriders. So subscribe if you haven't. Right now you're going to be seeing 2 videos. One is what YouTube recommends and the other one, well, that's what I recommend you watch. So either way, guys, I will see you there. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.